a cheater. Find out more about that on this edition of the Retro Ranger Wrap-Up. Today we're going to be talking about Tommy's heartbreak, probably the biggest obstacle Tommy's ever had to face as a Power Ranger. Not Rita Repulsa, not Lord Zed, but the dreaded Dear John letter, and it's going to happen right here on this episode. But I am Joe, alongside my partners in crime, Daniel.
Hey, people.
And Elle. Guys, welcome to 2019. This is your first stream of 2019?
No?
Yeah, it is my first stream of 2019.
And this is not yours.
This is not mine, but Elle and I closed out 2018.
We did. We did Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's right. So we're glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you guys here.
Also, is Derek Harvey out there? Hey, thanks for the Christmas gift. I really like them.
Hey, there you go. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier, but for today, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So on to this episode. Well, before we get to this episode, the first thing I kind of want to bring up is the Super Chat feature. As you all can see, there's a lot of you guys in the chat right now. And
it's going so fast.
To make sure that we see your comment and it helps support the show, hit us with that Super Chat, because that way we can spend a little bit more time on your comment.
Yeah, because it goes so fast, I can't actually keep up with it, and I'm trying to. You guys are talking too much. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
I don't like reading.
I don't like reading.
No, I'm going glasses.
Yeah, right? Shout out to you, Blur.
You're going like flu season today.
I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah, and I'm sitting right between.
That's why Daniel is sitting here, to protect me from all the cooties. Get your cootie shots, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure you get them.
I missed one day. And then,
Maybe you should miss a couple more, Joe.
I don't sound terrible, though.
No, but we know it.
But I can see little like green spores coming out of your mouth.
You just showed me a video on what?
Oh, guys. A nitty pot. Well, because you need it.
You want to explain what it is?
Yeah, it's like an irrigation system for your nose. So you put water in, and then snots come out the other side.
Just
it's
water.
Great. It feels amazing.
Just water. You've done it?
It's blast out.
Have you really done it?
Yeah. The first time you do it, you will feel like you are drowning because you're like, but then after that, it feels great because then all that like snot and mucus just like right out of your nose.
What I
Did it look
understand,
disgusting?
yeah.
Yes.
You didn't see the. Oh my. Oh.
It is like so disgusting. It's great.
What was the color?
I'll post one on your wall on Facebook.
Nope, let's not do that.
I'll post like 5.
Yep.
No?
Do it. Make it happen. Make it a thing.
I am good.
On THS hashtaggers.
Yes.
Just put it on there. And
if
see.
you guys are curious, I will be posting later tonight. You can watch Neti Pot in action. Not of me, but of someone else.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Tommy's own neti pot here.
Oh boy.
His dangerous journey.
Clearing out his love life.
His love life. By the way, that was some impressive like incline bench press. Let me just say.
Dude, come on, man.
That's some good chest
That's some
muscles.
work there. That's some
a lot of
work
work.
there.
Incline bench press is a lot harder than
Yes,
regular
it
bench
is.
press.
It really is.
And that's if that's a normal size bar. That's roughly
is.
about 185 pounds.
Because normal size bar is about 25.
No, the bar is 45.
That's 130 pounds,
Yeah.
something like that.
Math.
Something like that. Bar's 35 pounds,
Oh,
and
there
those
you
are
go.
45-pound weights, so it's about 125 pounds.
Pretty much what we're saying is Tommy jacked.
He is.
Yeah.
He's got them upper pecs going for him.
There you go.
So he is, as Tommy's getting his nice little workout in, this letter gets handed from everybody to everybody, apparently.
Well, it gets handed to Adam specifically because, hey, I got a letter from my girlfriend. Let me have my friends read it out loud while I'm working out.
It was essentially, I'm going to show off, and this is like going to be, okay, weird flex, but okay. That's what he did.
What
It
if
was like,
Kimberly
go
put
ahead and
naughty
read
things
it.
in the letter?
Well, hey, once again, it's a weird flex. You don't know what's going on. It's Rochambeau. You're just like, here he goes. And that's what he did. And unfortunately, it didn't work out well.
Adam is like, why'd you give this to me?
Poor Adam, he looked so uncomfortable.
I would be. He was like, why? Why would you give this to me? I just want to leave.
No, but at first it was okay. You know, hey, dear Tommy. And
I
then,
miss you.
Yeah, I
Hey,
got
we
a
got
first
super
super Daniel, what's it say?
All right. Well, the Blur, shout out to you, says, why was Amy Jo credited when she wasn't even there?
Her
It
spirit
was a
was
question
there.
I was going to ask.
Same.
Actually. Yeah, I have it in my notes.
Because in those flashbacks,
They have her in the
have to
moment.
credit
Yeah,
her.
that's right.
Really? They couldn't put her at the end credits? She had to,
Even so, if her
was still SAG
image
stuff going on.
appears at all, they'd have to credit her.
Oh, interesting. I did not know
It's like on
that.
the TV show, like
so that's why.
on TV shows, they mention a website, then it has to exist or blah
An
blah.
existing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But I think that, oh man, And whose decision as a writer was it to be like, you know what, we're going to make Adam the one that reads it? Not
Dude.
Billy, not his best buddy, Billy. Yeah. Billy wasn't even there, I don't think.
Billy wasn't there. Billy's busy working, man.
He's making the new iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Billy alone.
Yeah, that's right. So he's trying to make sure he can take care of everybody. Oh, my God.
Oh, Billy was there. Look at that. Billy was there.
He thought he came after, though.
Man.
Yeah, right?
He heard the news. He heard Tommy's heartbreaking. He was like, I got to see this.
I got to be there for my bro.
He was definitely there to hear that part of the letter, though.
Oh, yes, right? Oh, man. But I loved it because, like, Tommy's just going like, yeah, read that letter to me. Oh, I'm getting jacked. And then as it starts to just turn and go bad, like, you see him kind of, like, falter even with the weights where it's like, huh? Huh?
I was done with my set anyway.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. Oh, give me the letter. Give me the letter. Oh, God. See, and someone, Blackwing's even asking, whose decision was it to have the Dear John letter? I know it was indeed, like, part of the writing team, but the thing was, like, I've asked myself, like, I was like, did it have to be a Dear John? Could it have been just, well, nonetheless, it had to be a Dear John. It had to be a breakup, like you said earlier.
Had to be a
breakup because we know what's coming.
See, look, as a writer, I mean, look, what would you have done? I want to know what anybody would have done.
No, because other people are saying...
You got nothing?
Cool,
let's go with nothing.
No, I was thinking of the whole thing of, well, you know what? I just can't deal with long distance. And right now, with things happening... But who does that make look bad
in this situation?
So, her saying, I found someone else means...
Yeah,
when you find someone else, that means that you were automatically, like, you were a nevermind.
Let's break this down. Let's break this down for a second.
Right?
This is the reason why I think this has to happen. A, you have to put sympathy on Tommy in order to get him to this sad state that he's in, so it can be so much more impactful by the end of the episode, by the end of the three-parter.
But Tommy's always sad. He has no parents. He has no friends at school.
Well, he did get promoted to being a leader.
Did that happen?
What?
No, that's my idea.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, bravo. Okay. Oh, well, that is
But
a good
I mean,
idea.
like, did it have to be a letter? Why couldn't Kim have called him?
But see, that's all off camera. I think that if...
Right.
We
needed it to happen there.
You needed to happen on camera.
Because she wasn't going to come back in and do anything.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, yeah, I get you. I get you.
There's not a real way to do this without making it be a letter. I mean, obviously, texting at the time wasn't a thing.
It doesn't. They barely had internet based off of the last episode.
But, for me, it kind of feels like we're dragging the memory of Kim by making it this way, where it's like, oh, I found someone else. It's like, whoa, what the heck was I?
Super chat from the Blur.
Nowadays, okay, well, the Blur gives a super chat. Shout out to you, and he says, nowadays, would she have broken up over text?
What up, Daniel Diaz?
That would have been harsh if she did it over text. I think Kim...
But that's the same as almost a Dear John.
But it would have been an email instead, because I think with an email she would have been able to really break down, just as she did in that letter.
No, but it's better this way because there's no communication. So, like, Kim doesn't even get a response, like you said, for a couple weeks. So, like, that letter that he sends back, that's just WTF, Kimberly. Yeah, he's not going to get that for, like, 2 more weeks.
No, but that's also weird, too, because you write a letter, you send a letter, then you have to wait. And then you want to know that he got it, and you want to know that he's like, thank you or okay or something? Nope. Or was it just like, nope, I don't care. Here goes the letter? What do you do there?
I think that if you got to look at it from what the story they were trying to tell. If it was just hey, it's a mutual breakup, that doesn't really put any kind of shine on Tommy at all. And the whole point of this is to try to shine Tommy up.
Okay.
I think that when you kind of are doing a story like this, somebody has to be at fault. Regardless, they had no idea that Kimberly was ever going to be coming back to this world of Power Rangers. So, of course, make her look like the bad guy. And they want you to get so invested into the new Pink Ranger.
Yes, of course.
Who's not doing anything.
Exactly. Now, all of a sudden, now she has a playthrough, which we definitely see in it.
Oh, but it's so awkward. Man, we're going to get into that later. But let's go on with Kimberly and the Dear John letter.
Here's a sad fact about this, though. I mean, let's be honest. Kimberly's a better written character than Catherine.
Yes.
Even after this whole, this is probably the worst thing they could have done with Catherine, is by putting her with Tommy. Because at that point, it's always Tommy and Catherine, and not ever Catherine.
Oh wow. So if you have to pick between when it comes to Tommy, who are you picking for him? Like, who do you think is best?
Who would take care of Tommy better and better fit for him? Catherine. Who's a better character overall? Kimberly.
Okay,
well,
but
let's put it out to the audience. Let's have that be our new submission.
Okay, perfect. That will be what we'll do. Yeah. In fact, you guys, if you can get it together, just bring it on for us and pretty much tell us, who do you think is best suited for Tommy? Is it Kat? Is it Kimberly? And tell us why. You can go ahead and send that over to ths@thathashtagshow.com, and for the best ones that we find, we'll publish it. So you guys can be published writers. It's not a bad thing.
True story.
But why does Tommy have to be with anyone? He literally just found out he got broken up with.
You know what?
And why are they already trying to set up Kat?
Immediately,
I don't like that. Looks bad on Kat.
I think that.
True.
And let's be honest about it. Kat was trying to be a third wheel when Kimberly was around anyway.
It's true.
She was.
What's really the? I mean,
and she is a third wheel already again in this. And I'm like, yo, Kat, honey, there's a lot of other hot guys, I'm sure, at your school. You don't have to go after
But
Tommy.
you actually bring up a great point. I honestly don't know why Tommy needs to be with anybody.
Yeah, like
why not put Adam with Tanya? Because
everyone, oh my God, agreed. I said the
guys.
same thing. I shipped them, and yet never did it really get to happen.
Because they want Tommy. I feel like American TV.
I agree. Yeah.
Always has to have a love interest, and that is one of the things with movies, television shows. Like the main guy and the main girl always have to end up together.
And this is obviously like the alpha always gets the
exactly.
Whereas I honestly think like the person that would have benefited the most from a relationship on the show would have been probably Adam.
I feel so.
Yeah.
I think it would have been great. Super chat coming in from Mr. Ray. Shout out to you. Write some great stuff. To be honest, I believe they set up Kat to be with Tommy since the beginning.
They did, but there was no reason for that.
Well, see, the thing is, when they originally did it, when it first coming through, remember when we first saw her, the only reason or force driving her to even want to do it was just being evil and breaking up the team.
But I still feel like that was part of Rita, but I feel like her attraction to Tommy was genuine.
Yes, it was always there. So that's the thing. So they were just gonna run with it, and with them running with it,
it turns out awkward.
It wasn't organic, at least from what we saw so far. It wasn't organic.
Who is better for Tommy than either one is that girl Heather. She's great.
Heather is I love Heather.
Heather is a bully. She was like, you guys can't go down this mountain. Well, guess what? I'm gonna hurt your pride, and maybe you guys will die.
Also, Heather was possibly 25, and he was about 17.
Yeah.
So that's also something we want to think about.
Was she a VR trooper at the time?
Yes. Oh no. VR Trooper ended in '96 or whatever like that. That whole time. This episode came out, I think, a little bit after. I know there was some story about it. Well, they were saying there was rumors that
this was '96.
Right. It was '96. So it was right when it was. So it was right when it was ending, because VR Trooper was '94 to '96. So at that time, I know I read some other stuff when they were saying that there was rumors that someone from VR Troopers was going to leave the show and be on Power Rangers.
Well, this would be a big rumor throughout, because here's the thing that wouldn't have made sense, because
what's his name later doing the voice and blah blah.
Hold on, we're good there.
Okay.
But yes, the whole Ryan Steele connection that we're gonna explore later on with the Gold Ranger.
Ooh, gold.
You're gonna love it.
Once we get there. Bringing Heather in, it wouldn't have made sense, because Heather is technically a VR trooper.
Yeah, 2 months, right?
2 months after it got canceled.
2 months.
So that means they shot it while the show was, come on.
In tandem.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's talk about this. So the guys decide to take Tommy out on a trip, which I actually think is a pretty realistic kind of thing that you would do.
Especially in the 90s, where extreme sports was what it's all about.
His beanie was incredibly
It's so 90s, and it's so dated, but I love it. And I feel like that is advice you give to friends of hey, I don't know how to maybe necessarily say the right things you need to hear. Let's just go out and distract yourself with something else.
I'm sorry, you mentioned that beanie, and I'm getting Juggalo vibes. I swear to God, I wanted him to just listen to Insane Clown Posse or something. That's what I saw when I saw that.
What are those for?
What are those for? It was, great. But no, so they did take him on a trip. And dude, how dope was that,
and
though?
Billy, yeah.
But also, it's weird that they were just hey, your friends really want to, and I was like, where is everyone else? Why did no one else want to be his friend and help, console him on this trip?
Well, you know what's interesting? I think that, there's not really a logic behind that. I guess you needed three of them to stay back in Angel Grove for whatever reason.
For no reasons.
But then you needed the other three to be separate. But it makes sense to have Billy.
They couldn't afford them to all have snow gear and snowboards, so that's hey, we got to pick three. We only have
3 stunt people to do the service snowboarding, and that's it. We're done.
Well, Tanya can't go because they only can send one of them, because they both live together. But Billy, on the other hand, it does make sense for him to go.
Yeah, because they've known each other longest.
Best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume it's his best friend. But I think that...
Well, Kim was probably his best friend, but...
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Well, that turned out.
They do make it seem that, in the past, though, that Jason was his best friend.
Yeah, but Jason's been gone, so that's why he's moving on, and he's like, oh, Kimberly's Oh, all right, Billy. I guess we're best friends now.
It was like, well, all right. Who's left? All right, you.
All right, Billy.
Yeah,
Billy,
we're best friends now.
You're sensible. You come along on the snow trip.
Where Billy was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, so
well,
they go
I'm
on the
your
snow
friend.
trip. They find themselves in having a good time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They meet Heather, who's great.
Man,
And
I
really
like her.
aggressive.
Well, hey, you know what? You got to know what you want
Tommy
and go
needs
for it.
right now.
Exactly.
Be like, hey, you don't think you could go down the mountain? Are you a wiener? And it's like, let's go down this dangerous
I
mountain.
don't
Like
think she called him a wiener.
I know,
mean,
but she
that was
bullies
the
him
case.
into it. And I was like, I don't like Heather. I don't like people who are bullies.
So I wouldn't say she
I wouldn't
bullied
say she
him.
was
Kind of.
She was
like
assertive.
emasculated both Tommy and Billy, saying like, "Are you guys not up to this?" And I was
She
like,
just asked a question. She's
All
being
right.
assertive and slightly aggressive. And hey, some people like
She's a strong
overly
female
aggressive
character.
women.
Strong female.
all right,
Strong-
all right.
hashtag strong
I don't want to
female
be
character.
the sexist one. So
Yeah,
all
don't be. We just created the hashtag of not Jezreus. Don't be Jezer.
Yeah, I mean, and she didn't call him. She didn't say, "Hey, you guys are wieners."
But she pretty much emasculated them by saying like, "Hey, like." Kind of downplaying their ability to snowboard after they're like, yeah, we already did all the routes today. We've been out all the time. She's like, well, you don't have enough energy for one more. And I was like,
Well, okay,
bully.
that was kind of
Shut it up,
pushing.
Heather.
That was good. So we know where you subscribe as far as on the Heather train. We know where you are.
I like Heather. I do
One,
like Heather.
I was kind of like, okay, I dig her.
All right.
She's, it's like, oh, great, look, I'm this pro snowboarder. I'm a
And
woman.
you guys are just
blah,
here,
blah, yada, yada. It was
and
like,
I'm
I
gonna
love
bully
that.
you into like snowboarding more
No,
with me
you have
because
to
I'm
think
so
about
lonely.
it.
Please be
You have to
my
think about
friends.
it. During that time, it was an extreme sport. It was mostly male dominated. Here she comes,
No,
and
I
you have
like
to be
that.
able to keep up with the guys.
But
so
that
with
doesn't
that,
mean you get
have
to be a
kind of
bully.
be no, but you have to be kind of like the guys. Guys
I
bust
wouldn't
each
say
other's
bully
chops.
as much as I would say.
You know, come on, man.
Challenging.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right, I like that
And she's a
word.
and
I
she's a
will
sports
agree
person.
with Joe on this one. She
There
is
you go.
challenging.
There you go. She's a sports person, so you got to push.
bully.
Still a bully.
But let's talk about what's going on the Angel Grove side of things.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, in Angel Grove.
Oh god.
Now people are falling in love with machines.
It's so weird. This is like some weird.
Dude.
What rule was it? 32? Like some Brave Little Toaster fan fiction, and I didn't like that either.
Rule 23. Oh my God.
Rule 23.
Oh, but no, it's so true.
I do not ship anyone with Brave Little Toaster.
I did
Get outta
not
here.
like that.
Lieutenant Stone.
No,
was
even
romancing
before that. At the very, that was weird. But at the
Ernie?
very beginning, at the very beginning, where you guys probably didn't notice it, but the little boy robot was like, "Oh,
yeah.
I want to be the one to blah blah." I was like, and they were just like, "Ha ha ha ha."
No.
That's a problem, guys. We want my little boy to I want to fall in love with. Clearly, the monster is older than him. We're having the same dynamic of Tommy and what's her name with them happening right now. Where the little boy is like a teenager, a kid, whatever, 10 years old.
Yeah,
and
he's
he wants to get it on with pretty much that's what's happening.
Time out. This machine is.
I don't know. I'm aging. Well,
quantifying it
because
with an age.
it's sentient. One, it's sentient. So
it's
let's
obviously the
give it its
child
proper respect,
version.
okay, Joe? Don't be a machinist.
Did you
Once
just-
again, hashtag not Jezreus. Stop being Jezer, man.
You're quantifying this machine's age, saying this is inappropriate behavior for
Yes,
a
it's
machine.
completely inappropriate. Where he's over here, and then the parents are just, that's fine. Oh, that's so cute. Your son just said he
The
wants a
machine
bone.
parents that apparently. that the
I don't know if that's where that was going, but
Gave
all
birth.
right.
Just
to this other machine.
And we're already accepting the fact that they're sentient and they're giving birth to other machines. So let's continue
We
with
don't know if
that.
they're giving birth
Well,
necessarily.
whatever they're doing.
They just built him.
They just built them.
I
It's
mean,
like,
they
"You're my
built all the
son."
other monsters,
Oh,
and they're alive,
facts.
and they have like voices.
But dude,
and
I really want to know your side of the machine empire.
I'm just saying, my view of this machine empire. Oh, you want me to write
I
something?
really want your family tree of the machine empire on how all this happened.
I do want to research a little bit about King Mondo and see how that. See how that.
Research,
Yes, I
and
want to
then later
research.
tonight.
I'm just on the Rule 23.
God.
just looking it up. But
man.
so yes, the
Anyway,
Robo
moving on
Cupid.
from this whole conversation that got really weird, and
Well,
we
we'll do that, but that was really weird. Everyone's falling in love with machines. How weird is that?
Did any of you out there read into this? Because I didn't.
He just said it when Sprocket said it, and I was like, huh? That's weird. Nobody.
I do find it weird that this is one of the stranger kind of like, things that they cast over everybody. It's like falling in love with machines. It is kind of bizarre.
Well, I mean,
I do
yeah,
also
yeah.
like that.
Tonight's episode is a perfect request for player. That would be perfect.
That is a good one.
Man with machine, where do you stand? That will be the whole episode.
I mean, the machines on the smaller scale, I feel like are okay.
You see what I'm thinking? I was thinking the same thing. A lot of the mothers around Angel Grove already love machines. So, moving on. I can't.
So Robot Cupid
yes.
makes all these people fall in love with machines, and it gets weird. Not as weird as what Daniel is talking about.
Well, yes it is. Ernie's falling in love with a blender. We've got Lieutenant Stone falling in love with an arcade machine. Bulk and Skull fighting over who, I don't even know what they wanted to do with the motorcycle.
They wanted to ride it.
Well, okay. They wanted to do something.
Inappropriate.
They wanted to do something. I don't know. It was just like, wow, a lot of machine love, and whatever.
I like Rocky's comment where he was like, "Man, this is weird even for Angel Grove." and I was like, Rocky has a deep insight on this episode. That is probably my favorite thing out of Rocky, out of all three of these.
Rocky figured out exactly what's going on.
He was like, why?
Does it feel that Adam is starting to step more and more into a leadership type of role too?
Yeah.
I feel that like he was. I just love his reaction to everything. Adam's great.
Adam's face in all these. He's like, what, why?
Like
what did I do in my life to deserve this?
No, there are so many clips of just if you go through the episodes, 3 episodes, where Adam is like,
okay, Daniel, if you could be in love with any kind of machine.
Okay, all right. Shoot.
Lint was in love with arcade machines when he was a kid.
Arcade machines? Maybe.
There are dudes that are in love
with cars. Yeah, there are dudes that love with cars. I mean...
John Naya.
Yeah, that's right.
There are also people that are in love with video games.
Ooh, that's very true.
Or their phones.
That's very
people
true.
are very addicted to their phones.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe that would be
I am not playing for 2019 as much as I did in 2018.
Are you not
as much as I... No. You see how she just curved that? As much as I did in 2018.
Pause, as much.
Which means, so it was almost like a 24-hour thing. Now you're just dropping down to, I'm only going for 16. Like that's it.
So what kind of machine? What is your
I'd be a
machine
car.
that you would?
Probably I'd be a car.
I'm old-fashioned. I don't know.
Typewriter?
I
don't know what that means.
I actually don't know. I don't think maybe my phone.
Mine would probably be a microwave. Microwave is always there for me when I need something. It's like bam, 30 seconds. Lasagna is hot.
It's like the replicator in Star Trek.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or no, my computer. 100%.
You know, if you go for computer, then I will switch instead of car because it's so much. I'm gonna go for the phone because I am.
You do use your phone a lot.
I'm crazy on it.
It's interesting how you use your phone so much, but sometimes when I text you, it takes a long time.
It takes a long time for me to respond. It does.
That logic doesn't necessarily work out.
It does. All right, he's right next to me, and he's like, "Hey, we're ready to go. Let's go, dude." And I'm like,
"Let's move on and talk about what Catherine's setting up."
Oh man, my girl Kat. It seemed at first I wasn't sure. Like they want you to believe that she's setting it up for herself to be like, "Oh, they'd be there for you, Tommy," but it's actually for Heather, which I thought is sweet, but also weird. And then when she talks to Tanya, it makes it even more weird.
Oh like, boy, when she tells Tanya, maybe I don't know my idea.
She's like, and then.
Well, it's pretty much her playing.
So out of all, but here's the thing I don't understand. Out of all of the things that happen in this episode, this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me.
Oh really?
Why would she do this?
She's trying to.
You know what?
Push her feelings and be a good friend, and she's kind of overcompensating by making it weird.
You've never been Cyrano de Bergerac, essentially. That's what I'm hearing. Like,
what is that reference?
Oh, okay. Cyrano de Bergerac, it's a part of literature where this guy pretty much, he's a guy that doesn't look too good, and he's really good with words, so he helps this really good-looking guy speak to the
God, is he Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Not really. Not really.
Okay,
he pretty much speaks for this guy to get this woman. Then ultimately she's like, I really fell in love with the words and the intent, so I really love you, Cyrano de Bergerac, who's this guy that doesn't look great. And then
that's way
what
more
happens.
romantic.
But
okay,
he always liked her from the beginning, and that was the whole thing. So it's like, I can see you. See, Joe, okay, this is the thing. You're a good-looking guy, man. So the thing with that, stop it.
Good job, Mr. Glass.
That's once again.
But Blackwing says, pause every. No, the blur is the one that says she gets out of the friend zone, and that's one of those things too, where it's like
that's what it was. I felt that was her thing.
The friend zone is kind of a real thing, and I feel like things like this set up unrealistic expectations.
That's what I'm thinking.
These movie
I think
things
that's
where it's
what
like
she was.
sometimes you just need to be a friend, and I was hoping Kat could just be there for Tommy.
I agree.
It's weird.
Kat, guess what?
Always liked
this
him,
is
so
the
she has to
worst
get close.
situation for you because now you're a rebound.
Yeah, you
Dude,
don't want to be the rebound.
My thing was, it was hilarious to me when Tommy walks in, and he sees her, and he gives her that compliment. Wow, you look amazing. You look stunning. Whatever.
But he's on the rebound. Does he really mean it, or has
dude, Tommy was...
I don't know why we didn't cross this episode over with Quest for Player 2. This is
right? It is.
Crossing
over.
The
oh my God.
One does not simply escape the friend zone. Very true.
It's true, though.
It's very true.
And
you don't.
I feel like from both sides, from guys to girls, girls to guys, I feel like you don't. Like, once you're in that kind of...
Which one? I asked her out to the movies, and she asked, "What's this
Producer is on point.
On point with the memes. But it is true. The thing is, she was in the friend zone. She didn't know how to get out. Yes, she didn't know how to get out. She didn't know how to get out of the friend zone, and that was her thing. So when you're in it too much, you don't know what else to do.
But I feel like you just need to be a good friend and not put your own feelings kind of invested in it.
She had an agenda from the jump, and ultimately she gets what she wants. But she did,
even when she was evil and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It's just weird.
No, I'm telling you, she had her agenda, which is, I'm going to get my man.
So who's better for Tommy? Is it going to be Kat, who's trying to come in as a rebound, or Kimberly that sent him the Dear John letter? Try to convince us either way, because both of them, man, it's like
right now it just seems like it's all bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bad.
Now I'm really feeling bad for Tommy.
Yeah, right? Like, dear God, poor guy. Had to go through all of that.
But he likes everyone. He's like, yeah, I like Kimberly, but Kat's here, and
no,
Kim's
dude,
not, so I like Kat, so let me cozy up to her and like look at her stairs, and she's like, oh, but Heather is also here, and she's so much fun.
I always just felt Kat and Tommy just didn't have any chemistry, though.
They don't. But Kat doesn't really have a lot of chemistry with anyone else on the team.
Kat really feels like I was waiting for the moment where they're like, haha, she's really a machine, because it just seems like she has no.
Mr. Ray.
Here goes Mr. Ray, and he says, it was that day JJ became more than a thought.
Who's JJ?
JJ's Tommy and Kat's son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, later in like comics, they have a kid, but also so they have kids.
Well, good for Kat for
My thing was like I said,
when
he walked into Shea Ernie's, and he sees her and he pays her a compliment. The way he paid her a compliment was like, yeah, hey, like he thought he was coming there for her.
But that's creating sexual attention of like he has always found her attractive. Kim just broke up with him that morning.
But
how is he already chasing Kat's tail? That's weird. It makes Tommy look not as attractive as he was when he was like downtrodden and brokenhearted, to be honest.
My thing was even worse, because Tommy just looks like he was just hard up for anybody's attention.
It's true.
Because he was happy to see her.
He has no friends.
But at least he can remember to be there. So he shows up, he's talking to her, and he's like, hey, like, okay, I'm interested in you because she was there. And then after she's like, oh, and our guest has arrived. And he just immediately goes, oh, what? Like, you can see the shock in his face. Where he's like,
but also,
are we all doing this?
He was like, all three of us? Is it all three of us?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, this was happening?
No, he thought it was all three. I think I heard him go, yes.
Yeah, right? I think so. All right. And then after that, she was leaving. He was like, where you going? It was one of those when she walked, where you going? And then you just sat down. And, it's like a soap opera at this time. Tommy's relationships. Larry, you are correct. It definitely was a soap opera feel. Funny enough, Sarah Brown, who is from VR Troopers, is still on a soap opera right now. So that's kind of weird and that's kind of crazy. That's what happens to Heather.
It's moving on, but in an hour. So that means he didn't really like Kimberly if he's already willing to move on to Kat or Heather.
It's called moving on. Yeah, that's right.
That means you're not invested, and that's fine.
No. He was invested, but the thing is, you have to see, also for Tommy, when it comes time for that, it's like, yes, there is the option of the rebound, but yes, there is also the option of, well, his move on is a little bit different from other people's. He can be a guy that compartmentalizes. So now it's like, okay, you know what? This happened at this moment, but I can't do anything about it. Let me move on. And he was just ready. That's why he thought, all three, and yes, he thought it was going to happen.
Hey, we also have Heather in here, so maybe should we throw in a third option where you have Kat, Kimberly, or Heather? Who is best for Tommy?
I already...
Because you like Heather.
I think
so
if
you're on Joe's team, if you're on Joe's team and agree that Heather is best for Tommy, then send us an article.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you choose?
Oh, man, I wanted to be quiet and just let's see
all
what
of us
happens.
have to choose.
Okay, fine. All right, fine.
I mean, I don't really like all three of them, so I'll let you choose, and I'll just be left over. It doesn't matter. Like I feel equally about all three of those girls.
I feel that ultimately it should be Kimberly, only because Heather was kind of like, all right, look, we're moving and we're going. Are you here for this? Are you here for? You're not here for this? I'll be right back. And she left and ghosted him. Didn't show back up. And that was it.
Well,
and
she left
Catherine was
kind
like, oh
of
my
for
god.
decent,
Well,
like,
yeah,
reasons.
true,
Yeah, she's like, I drove all the way
I mean,
down
if
here and
anybody-
you
Yeah,
abandoned
that's
me
the thing.
twice.
That's
And like
what I'm
any
saying.
self-respecting woman would be like,
That's
you're
the
not
thing.
worth it.
Tommy is not
kinda
the one
technically
for
ghosted her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Tommy
that's
is
true,
not
that's
the
true.
one for her in
That's
that
true.
way.
Yeah,
Because
she needs
it's like,
a man that will
yes,
be
I need you to be
present.
attentive. I need
Yeah.
you to be there.
Dude,
Tommy,
I
unfortunately,
blame this
can't
all on
be.
Zordon. Mainly because he can't say who they are. And he's like, listen, I really want to tell you what's going on. I just can't because this fucking floating.
Oh my God.
Also, this Zordon calls him out and is like, hey, I need all of you guys to come to the command center. It's getting really hot and I need you guys to be aware of your surroundings. He calls Tommy out of the date, not because a monster came, not because there was any immediate attack. He's like, I want to give you a pep talk about not love, but it's getting hot.
But the
ecosystem.
ecosystem.
So tell me about global warming. Yes. And that's why Zordon is the
Dude,
biggest cockblocker I've
I
ever
swear
seen
to God,
in my
I
entire
was
life.
gonna say,
The
Zordon
reason-
got on his CB radio, the cockblock radio, was like, boop, hey, calm down, and ruined his life.
The reason why Tommy and Heather never work out, it's Zordon's fault.
It really is.
Fact.
I agree 1,000%. Zordon, get out of here. I'm pretty sure Tommy wants to have a bat at some point.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna break that stupid glass. All right, so you say Kimberly. I'm gonna say you're gonna guess. You're gonna go with Kat.
I'm gonna go with Kat.
And you're Heather.
And for
I'm
anyone,
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So that's all three. We have the options right there, but we want to know from you guys. So once again, send it in to ths@thathashtagshow.com and let us know who do you think is best for Tommy out of the three. Man,
And we will
he
get
has
your
three
article published on
choices.
that
He
hashtag
gets
show
three
dot com.
choices, and I can't even get a text back. What is that? What is that?
I'm sorry.
I don't get it. Yeah, take L
Maybe it's
forever
time to
sometimes.
like do some like self-reflecting. Maybe like when you have relationship problems with everyone, you
Maybe
want to
they
blame
get-
everyone, but maybe the common factor is yourself, man.
Can I
I'll
put
be
this in
there for
water
you.
right now. Can I
I'll
just-
be there.
Or it
I need to
also,
work out while you tell me this.
it also could be possible that maybe because you're always on your phone, you don't text people back immediately. That's why they just take that into consideration.
Can I put your phone in water? God damn, I hate both of you. God.
Let's move on to something we.
Dang,
The episode's
he
not
gets
really
three
about
choices,
the
I
monster.
can't even-
Nobody cares.
Nobody
about the
cares
monster.
about
No.
monsters.
It's really
It's
about
about-
Tommy's heartbreak.
It's about the
And
biggest
global
one of
warming, according to Zordon.
Well, Al Gore
It's about-
did contribute to this
that's right.
episode a little
It's
bit.
it's about the biggest moments in Power Rangers history, which is the Dear John letter. Everyone knows about the Dear John letter, and it's
Yes.
just so it's fascinating. It's interesting because at this point we are seeing, the writers do something that's very interesting for us because they're dealing with relationships. They're growing.
Exactly.
And they're knowing that their fans are actually growing as well, getting older.
And they're
so
also,
now
like,
let's deal with relationships. I love
delving
it.
more into fetishes by bringing Lieutenant Stone back and
Oh,
his
God.
fertilizer things in that last episode.
I thought you meant fetishes because the machine.
I mean,
That's
that
what I
too.
thought you were talking
Oh,
about.
that too,
That's-
but also transitioning to that third episode, where I was like, why is this coming back? We don't need to know anything else about Lieutenant
Lieutenant
Stone
Stone's a freak.
and his fertilizer obsession. It is weird, and I like how Bulk and Skull openly kind of mock him, where he's just like, God, more fertilizer.
Oh dang,
Lieutenant Stone
Layla,
is
you
a
need to make sure you show up for Quest for Player 2 this week. Because she just immediately, Dano, I know the feeling. I can't get a I'm sorry, but then again, I blocked him on everything.
Well,
Ooh.
that might
Girl?
be 90% of the reason why you
Yeah,
can't get him.
exactly. That's
Sorry.
why. Yeah, I mean, if you block
Hey,
somebody,
what do you want him to do? Send you a
Send you a
letter?
letter?
Just kidding.
I doubt he has your address. No one has anyone's address nowadays.
Yeah, so
A lot of relationship
Fetish.
things going on in this episode
This
between
episode
robot
is
fetishes,
big.
poop fetishes,
here's a good-
relationships,
here's a
breaking
good-
up, rebounds.
here's
This
a
is
good-
Quest for Player 2.
It's all
a
going
good
there.
real question. Has anybody ever gotten a Dear John letter of like a breakup or a text even? Like, hey, this isn't working out.
I've sent some. I've sent some.
You sent them? No, I didn't even get one, but I've been ghosted on before.
Oh, I've been
Yeah.
ghosted.
And
I've been
that was
ghosted.
not great. I'd rather get a Dear John letter
Dude,
than
one of the
be ghosted
one
on.
of the worst things I feel someone can do is ghost, because it's like, how much of a so and so are you?
I've
Yeah, I know you've
Like,
ghosted.
even just a post-it note, like, leave a post-it note on the fridge, do something.
well, post
Then-
something on the fridge. Yeah.
I mean, that's not great either, but it's better than being like, ooh, I'm a ghost now. Can't find me. Don't talk to me.
Boo. It's like, no, why?
Scared.
Really?
oh, I actually think the worst kind of like
This is so cute.
The
It
worst
looks like a
kind-
jellyfish.
Oh, it does look like a jellyfish. Is that a
worst kind of
Pokemon?
breakup thing
Is that a
was
Pokemon?
actually your fault.
Wait, what? What happened?
Wait, what did I?
Pray, do tell.
So, I think I've said this story before on Quest for Player 2, but I'll say it here. There was a girl I was seeing at the time, and she.
Oh my God! I remember, dude. How there was okay. Then go ahead.
She had asked, or she had said, "Hey, so like normally."
Oh my God!
Like what kind of girls? We're gonna
talk about that. Go ahead.
What kind of girls do you usually go for? And I was like, oh, you know, like yeah, whatever. I don't have like a type or anything or whatever. And she's like, I don't believe you. I want to ask one of your friends. So this idiot, I was like, hey,
dude. Out of all the people, he knows the best.
This girl's just asking a simple question.
Okay.
You know, and she's a pretty serious girl. And then he's him.
Of
so
course.
he answers jokingly like, "Oh, he goes to the hottest shows at the club."
No.
That's what you said.
It was a message that I thought was coming from you because it said, "What kind of girls do I usually go for?" And so
verbatim.
I thought it was from him. So I was like, "Oh, okay. You go for the hottest in bar, something like that,
verbatim.
like a joke."
Literally, the whole day.
You're such a good wingman.
No, I am a good wingman, but I didn't know. So I had no idea.
The whole day was spent. The whole day was spent doing damage control over like he was kidding. This isn't a thing. And then I finally got to the point. I was like, listen, if you're gonna judge me off of the dumb thing he said,
boom.
Then
this is
over.
not gonna work
See,
out.
what I did was save you because it
got
would
a
have been worse. We've got a super chat. Do you remember how to say this? I remember
just Maniac.
Maniac, that's right. Maniac. I think Kat is best for Tommy since they both started evil and seem so disconnected in terms of chemistry from their team.
Maybe they don't have the opportunity to open up with anyone else, so they will open up to each other if given the opportunity. Oh. And so that's why I think Kat is the best for Tommy. Send me your articles.
I love that. She's like,
I don't know.
Send me your
So let me ask you a question. So if let's say let's say anybody's a Power Ranger and you're going, would you rather date another Power Ranger or would you rather date a civilian? Because it's a pro and con, right?
Well, because at least Power Rangers are on like the same level where like you have to leave parties together. Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to date a civilian.
So you would, if you were Superman, you wouldn't go with the Lois Lane. You'd
go Wonder Woman.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. It's a really weird.
Because the thing is,
I've been a civilian before, and it sucks.
But how can you deal with the fact that now you are dating someone that ultimately you're gonna see all the time?
And
that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, you're seeing it at work, you're seeing it at home. Like literally, all right, we just finished killing blah blah. All right, yeah, blah blah. Let's all hang out and blah blah.
Superman
that was great.
Is mostly
now
based
let's go
in
home.
Metropolis. I feel like Wonder Woman can go to other places. So
yeah, but
here's a
she's
good
gonna,
question, too.
when they have that fight, what are you
Let's
gonna
talk
do?
about Heather for a second.
Yes.
What about?
We got
another one from the Maniac. Also, while on the subject of relationships, do you think Ashley and Andros still have a relationship to this day, despite seeming going their separate ways per To the 10th Power and Forever Red?
No.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say no for this one. And but the thing is, she said yes, but why do you say no?
I don't think that they have a relationship for a couple of reasons. I think that he kept gallivanting through space and doing his thing, and I think that she finally wanted to settle down, and he just still wanted to explore it. I don't think that. I don't think so.
See, but on the other factor, because I thought about this, on the other side, it's like Andros always had a thing where he wanted to. Well, even though he was really, I'm a loner. It felt like in some ways he wanted to have someone or something to truly connect to. And she is that thing. If she says, I'm here, do you think he'd probably be like, well, yeah, I guess there are other people that can do this. Here I am.
I don't know. I don't think that they're together, though.
Okay.
I personally don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just came up with a name.
And I was going to say, you know.
No, did she know? No, but that's why I was like, I was holding on to it. I was like, oh, that was my thought. Man. But okay.
Andros has some massive highlights. Is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
He's
That's
supposed
him.
to be an alien.
Yeah.
That gets highlights.
In fact, you know what? When
very
we
90s.
finally get to him, I would love Chris to show up.
I can probably get them both.
Because it would be great for you
another one.
to be like, oh my God, I just watched that episode and now you see him.
galore.
We got another
Tristan
Tristan.
Elkin?
Shout out to Tristan. Rangers should date Rangers unless they know their identities. I mean, the thing is, like I said, I
But
don't
you
want to
can't
work
really
with
go on a
somebody.
date in. Well,
I don't want to work with someone and then go home to that person and then after that go back and work with over and over and over. After
But
a
I
while,
feel
I'm just like, I need some time for me.
So you would say that you would date a civilian?
Oh man,
That civilian will be really unhappy because look at Heather already, where it's like, dude, you left twice.
I feel bad for Heather actually because Heather's the one that's kind of like, dude, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, well, and I would agree. And like, if you can't reveal your identity, she will never understand. She will just think like, are you cheating on me? Where do you go? Like, I want to know where you go.
I want to know where you are all the time.
And like, why do you leave in the middle of the night? And it's like you can never explain it.
That's true.
You know, like once the Machine Empire gets smart and stops attacking during the day and attack at night, like she's gonna be like, where were you? You know?
Oh
like,
man, that's true.
Well,
and the superhero. See, that's true.
Sometimes when you're even not a Power Ranger, you leave in the middle of the night and you get shit for it.
You get shit for it. That's true. That's true. You think about it. Like, all right, for example.
But still, like, where are you going versus like, hey, here's a receipt from the 7-Eleven I went to, or something. You know, like I don't know.
Well, no,
whatever.
okay. For example, like us, we're
sometimes
we're
you just
personalities.
like sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah, no, sometimes we're personalities, right? We do things. We're going here, blah blah. For instance, this one is even probably worse. He goes to junkets, he blah blah blah, all that crap.
Yeah.
So think about it. Always gone, always doing something.
Yeah.
There has to be where the significant other is kind of like, well, like you're always gone, you're always somewhere.
But also
that
that's
hey, whoa, there's another one.
Well, I'm just saying it could be an issue. Things don't work out with Zach and Angela.
Things don't work out with Zach and Angela. Angela
was a gold digger. She was a good. These
aren't even real.
Yeah, right. I was like, really? You can say goodbye now. It's good.
Poor
You're
Zach.
fine. Yeah, right. Like I'm done with you. Poor Zach. He didn't get it out when it came for love the right way. Everything was an issue. Oh man.
Okay, so let's start wrapping this up. This is actually a pretty fun episode to talk about. Even though we just talked about the relationship aspect.
And the monster being called Defoliate, where it's like, are you playing into all of this? What is going on? These episodes are definitely made for Quest for Player 2.
Also, did anyone else notice, like, on the episodes when watching them, like, it felt like halfway through you were just like, are we in another episode already? And then I look at the bar and it was like, oh no,
but that was
we're in the same episode.
They cut it where the monster ends in the second, starts a new one, and then ends.
I was like,
weird. Like the continuation didn't really make sense. They
I was like,
had one overarching monster,
and it just felt like Mondo was just like continuously like, get another one out there, get another one out there.
Well, we like to talk about the notes and errors in the episode, and we're going to do that right now and then close out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the notes. Amy Jo Johnson is credited at the beginning of the episode.
Well, we have another super chat though from Mr. Ray.
Mr. Ray, shout out to you. You're killing it today. Adam was tricked by Scorpina. That's true. Remember when Adam when he was interested in some girl, and then she turned out to be Scorpina?
Sabrina.
Amy Jo Johnson is credited at the beginning of this episode, but only appears in archive footage. Kat is the only Ranger who appears morphed in Part 1.
Yeah.
Zordon and Alpha do not appear in Part 1. This is Cockblocker Zordon.
Yep.
Part 1 of this episode has been widely criticized and ridiculed by older fans, presumably due to the plot line of Kimberly dumping Tommy by letter rather than discussing it in person.
It's hard to fly out from.
Yeah, dude.
You don't want to go to Florida. I'm sorry.
She's a teen. She's a teen and she's doing like Olympic stuff. They don't pay him too much. I mean, unless y'all were gonna pay for her to fly out. Man,
when Kimberly returns for Power Rangers Turbo movie, the letter, the breakup, and her time in Florida are not brought up. And all likely due to the backlash it received from fans.
That makes sense.
The second part of this episode marks the first time the Rangers' adversaries, Queen Machina in this case, decided to send another monster attack to the Rangers when they were weakened from the fight with the first one.
Oh, shit.
This episode was originally planned to be a two-parter, with the Power Rangers fighting Robo-Cupid in Part 1 and fighting the Defoliator in Part 2. This makes sense to like your...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So weird.
Sarah Brown guest stars in the series. She plays Caitlin Starr in another Saban-produced series, VR Troopers, which was originally called Cybertron, where Jason David Frank appeared in the pilot as Adam Steele. Both Cybertron and VR Troopers had Richard Rabotko as Tao. The song "Strike" from VR Troopers is also used in that episode.
Yep.
This episode had a lot of songs. So
Did.
Yeah, the 3 episodes.
The shot of the industrial landscape prior to the shot of Clank and RoboCupid was repeated from the piece of footage in Trini's pollution video from Mighty Morphin Cleanup Club.
Ooh.
The errors in this episode: Tanya has never met Kimberly prior to Turbo Power Ranger movie, yet was noticeably excited about the letter Tommy got from Kat.
But I think you could be excited because obviously she would know that he's dating Kimberly, and it's like, oh my god, I'm really happy you got to hear from your girlfriend. I don't think that's super weird.
In Part 1, the background behind Catherine changed drastically after she morphed. and RoboCupid seemingly made everyone in Angel Grove fall in love with machines, except the 3 remaining Rangers. I don't know how they were immune to that.
They were inside of the whatchamacallit, in the command center.
In part 2, the Rangers take a rare move from summoning Zeo Zords despite RoboCupid still being small. Once RoboCupid grew, the Rangers summoned the Zords again exactly the same manner despite them already arriving on the scene minutes earlier.
Same thing with like that Defender wheel where that's like, let's call the Zords.
You hate the Defender wheel.
I do. And it's like, we defeated it with the Defender wheel. All right, now it's big. Let's bring out the Zords that are just right there. All right.
In part 2, when the Zeo Megazord starts to fight with the RoboCupid after a shot from below indicates that the buildings in the background are taller than the Megazord and Monster. However, in the shot right after, the Zeo Megazord and RoboCupid are way taller than the buildings. Yeah. The buildings are also changed from shot to shot. God, in part 3, Zordon called Tommy, Kat, and Billy away from their vacation to tell them the attack could be coming.
Yes, and then sent them back. I loved it. Why couldn't you just tell me on the communicator? Why did you cockblock?
They have a viewing globe too, and it's like, Tommy's about to get it on. Let's call him over to the command center.
Tommy's getting a little too close to having a baby.
He was like, I'm feeling lonely. No one should be happy besides me. So he just bring everyone back.
That's hilarious, by the way. In part 3, Zordon told the Rangers that Defoliator was causing a greenhouse effect in Angel Grove. However, it's impossible that the greenhouse effect could be so localized. In part 3, the Rangers used the Zeo battle blaster against Defoliator. However, it seemed to be hit by a slash from Tommy's sword. In part 3, after leaving the juice bar, the Defoliator calls out both Tanya and Kat for being Power Rangers in front of scrambling citizens who don't seem fazed by it.
Well, they're also running for their lives, so I'm pretty sure they're not listening. Like, wait, what? Power Rangers?
It's the Justice League effect. That's exactly it. They didn't care.
All you guys out there, new challenge. Who's better for Tommy?
Yes.
Catherine, Kat, Kimberly, or Heather now?
Yeah.
Put them all out there. This will be going up on our website. That is your challenge. Before we close out too, we are going to be at the Pasadena Comic-Con, January 27th, I believe, in Pasadena, California. We have 2 panels. We have a Power Ranger panel that we are going to be hosting. And we also have a How to Break in a Geek Media panel. So if you're in Pasadena, come out and check us out. And if you want to show up in style, go to our T Public store and get one of our shirts. All you got to do. Oh, 27th. Oh, I had it right.
Oh, good job. Not bad.
Go get one of our shirts and show up in style. And if you want to see you in your shirt here on our show, take a picture of it and put it in THS hashtaggers, and we will be showing those shirts with you guys wearing them.
That's right.
Any of them. The Elle shirt, Daniel shirt, all the shirts. But yes, you can join us in Pasadena on January 27th, and that is going to do it. Super Chats, I want to thank Tristan, Maniac, Larry, Blur, and Mr. Ray. Thank you guys so much for your Super Chats this week. You guys are amazing, and we really appreciate it. But guys, stay tuned. We got a special episode of Doctor Who coming right up.
Resolution.
Live from Gallifrey. Elle and Dan are going to be taking you on your voyage through time and space.
That's right.
So that's going to be happening pretty much right after this. But guys, thank you for spending your Sunday with us.
We didn't give it a rating.
Oh, let's give it a rating. Yeah, let's do that.
This episode, for me, I guess if I had to give it a rating, I enjoyed it, so I'm getting a 4. I didn't want to give it a complete 5, so 4. What do you got?
Yeah, I think all 3 of them together are a lot more fun when we talk about it.
It's always that way.
I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to go 4.5.
Ooh, sounds good. Wonder what you guys are giving it.
You know why, though? It's the personal stories that I
It is. Get more about
Tommy is so dang lucky.
Yeah, why couldn't this be any of the other Rangers?
Yeah, right.
But yes, that's gonna do it. Well, what do you guys give it? What do you guys rank it in the chat?
Definitely, go ahead and let us know. And if you don't have time to actually hit us in the chat, you can still go ahead and hit us in the comments. Just say, hey, I give
Funny
this
Cake
episode
Comics
a blah,
gives
blah,
it a
blah.
4. The Blur gives it a 4. Jared Hodges a 4. Mr. Ray gives it a 4. Edward 5. Thomas Franco gives it a 5.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Ooh,
4.5.
Wow.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Oh, Layla gives it a 1.5.
Oh, Layla, man, you're gonna
Larry,
please be on Clash of Player too.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.